Hey, welcome to the Morning Standup. I'm Stacy K, and today's guest is, you may have seen one of his episodes on the show Dave on Hulu, or maybe an episode of I Think You Should Leave. Give it up for Niles Abston.
Oh yeah, we in here.
What's up?
How are you?
How you doing? You feeling good?
I feel great. It's a good day in LA. The weather's nice. I'm just chilling.
Dude, it is nice. I've been on the East Coast for a while.
Yeah.
The first day here, and it's like, I can't believe it's just like this. Like, you
It's like
walk
this all-
around and it feels nice.
Yeah, that's why.
It's been so cold for so
that's why
long.
people aren't as rude here.
Is it? Are they not as rude?
No,
Huh.
not to your face out here.
Sweet. So, how's life been?
How's life been? You want the real answer?
I haven't
or
seen
the,
you in like a
or the
year.
podcast answer? Damn, yeah.
Real answer. Real answer.
Life's good. Life's good. I'm just working on a lot of different shit. It's really fun. Like I'm finally getting to do stuff that I wanted to do. So that's always a plus. That's the thing. They never tell you, like, when you have a dream or whatever, it just means more work.
Yeah.
You get it and they're like, all right, now work. Yeah. So yeah, I just got hired to write a movie for a studio. So I'm working on that and then raising money for my own movie. So yeah,
Nice.
it's fun. I'm having a good time.
I'd ask you what the movie is, but I don't think you can
Yeah, I can't tell
say
you that.
on a podcast. But you've been getting a lot of writing jobs lately, right?
I think I've gotten the normal amount.
Like, you haven't had to move out of LA because you couldn't get anything lately, have you?
No, I have not. I have not had to do that.
Most people feel like have to do that, right?
Is that what's going on?
I thought that between writing gigs, a lot of people
Yeah.
like take
It's
off. And
it's less
come back in 6 months or
it's
3
less
months or
shows
whatever.
it's less shows being staffed right now. I'd heard like things are like some jobs are getting 700 submissions and shit.
Jesus Christ.
And like that's just crazy. Like,
That sounds like regular corporate America stuff, though.
I know.
Submissions are, I don't even know if they're all real. Like, it's like they're bots or something flooding the,
I mean,
maybe for
Nah, I
show
think
business stuff it's real.
I
but
think
for,
it's real. I think it's just that many people that need to work. So, and it's not a lot. It's not a lot of things getting greenlit like it used to be. So it's just kind of like it's like a balloon that pops. So, and then not a lot of comedy movies aren't being made. So like the fact that I got hired to write one is pretty crazy. So
Oh, it's a comedy.
Yeah.
Nice.
yeah, do you think they let me touch anything else?
When's it supposed to come out?
I don't know. There's no release date. A lot of times with things like this, companies just commission a writer just to write the movie. And then they decide if
They
they
never
still
know
want to
when
make
they
it.
ever gonna make it.
But it like that must be a cool luxury to have. You have a bunch of money to just give to people to maybe make a movie one day. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm writing this movie for
Do
them.
these
and-
studios have shareholders?
Yeah, they have to.
So they need to have
Exactly.
projects on deck
Oh, I never
to
thought
show to
about
the
it. Like,
shareholder. You never thought about it that way?
I don't give a fuck about that shit.
That's all corporations do is they gotta sell.
I've never had a corporate job, Stacey.
Well, I mean, you're working for corporate shit now.
That shit don't feel like it though.
Well, I mean, it don't feel like it, but they think like a corporation. If they're a publicly traded company, they got shareholders.
Yeah.
They got to constantly promise the shareholders they're going to make more money next quarter.
So they
all
probably
the
gotta
time.
have stuff on deck.
So they got to have stuff on deck that might not ever do.
Yeah.
Projects, just like hypothetical shit
Right.
that they have to constantly prove to the shareholders that they're going to make more money next quarter, or the the share price drops and then the company implodes.
That's
so
interesting. Yeah, I ain't shit, so I don't think of stuff like that.
you don't think about how every company basically in America eats itself alive because
They always got to do more.
they always have to get, no matter how you make all the money in the world one quarter,
Yeah.
the next quarter you got to make all the money in the world plus one, or everybody's going to sell their shares and your company's going to implode.
That's fucking
So
crazy.
what they do whenever they can't like justify that, when they can't be like, we're going to make a lot more money next thing, they
Yeah.
start like firing people like for essential stuff. They start like offloading IP. They start just basically hollowing themselves out to where eventually the company just collapses and everyone leaves and then they build a new one. And that's just our capitalist society. Like, that's how it's meant to do, is companies are supposed to basically destroy themselves until they're no longer useful. And the thing that made them a good company in the first place is now gone. And it's like rare to have a company that lasts a long time, like Walmart or something, been around for what, 60 something years.
Mhm.
But then you got like places like Radio Shack that disappear overnight, or like Blockbuster or whatever. Radio Shack actually pioneered the like scientific process of understaffing, like on purpose. Like,
What the fuck?
exactly how much can we understaff this Radio Shack before customers get sick of it and leave?
Wow.
So they had like a number of like how many people you can do before people get sick of it and just walk out. And now they don't exist anymore. But a bunch of other corporate companies, like they looked at that research and like based all their shit off. And all these companies have this shit that they're like trying to hide the fact that they do that. Like Walmart has like 20 something cash registers, but only 2 people working.
And it's working them shit.
And they also try to hide the lines, like where you got to stand from the entrance. So when you walk in, and like you'll notice this at all other stores. Basically, when you walk in, you can't really see the checkout line until you grab your stuff. So you're at Costco and you get your stuff and you like look over. It's like, holy shit! And then you got to make the decision. You got to make the decision. Should I just drop it or should I put up with the inconvenience?
That's evil, man. These
corporations, it's terrible. It's evil.
They gotta always expand every year.
And it's like
that's how I feel like that's how people be dating now.
They gotta.
Why can't we just have a boring year? God damn it! Why I gotta improve every year? We was happy last year. Why can't we just do the same shit we was doing last year?
Because
women y'all be dating these days.
Because women getting older and their value is going down, and they gotta get the bag while they have it. What, you just go through a breakup or something?
Nah.
What are you saying stuff like that for?
I just said that's how people date. And
you sound depressed.
I sound great. And you just took it a whole nother different way. Nah, I'm cool.
Sweet. So no recent breakup. What you been up to if you've not been breaking up with people?
I've just been doing comedy, Stacy. You know that.
You're doing comedy in LA is tough though. Like getting on.
Hell yeah, it's tough. This is bullshit.
How many spots you get a week?
Oh man, not enough. On average, I'd say 3 to 4 on a good week.
That's real good for LA.
Yeah, that's terrible for anywhere else. Yeah, I surprised myself at how good I still am at this shit. Because it is not enough stage time out here. I'll tell you that. But I want to do other stuff outside of stand-up, and I like living here.
Writing and directing is the main thing you want to do.
That's the main thing I want to do.
When are you quitting stand-up officially?
When there's no purpose in doing it anymore, or if it's not fun anymore. That's why I take breaks. Because it just gets to a point where it's just not fun. But yeah, I don't know. I could see myself, like, I'm not one of those people who's like, I could never quit stand-up. Like, yeah, I could definitely quit stand-up. I could quit it at any point. It's not, I don't think it's that big of a deal. The world doesn't need another comedian. The world would be okay. They don't need me.
You sure? Saving the world through comedy?
Yeah, they'll be just fine.
We need jokes now more than ever.
I hate when people say that shit. No, motherfucker, we need some money and some health care. We don't need no fucking jokes.
Yeah, I mean, if I was like really rich, I definitely would not be doing stand-up. That's crazy.
Yeah, for what? Yeah. That's why all these rich
attention.
What do rich
affirmation.
What do rich kids do? They make movies or they become like scammers and like life coaches and shit.
Some rich kids do stand-up. The ones with daddy issues, I guess.
I guess. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like there's way more rich kids, like Nepo kids in filmmaking than stand-up comedy. I feel like.
Yeah, probably. But I do know some rich kids that they're probably too rich for stand-up.
Too rich for stand-up?
And it just can't. They can't write like they should be able to, but they still get a fuck ton of spots because they got the connections.
Of course. But it just like gets to the point, it's like, well, what the fuck are you talking about? Because that used to be something Bernie Mac would say. He was like, yeah, once you don't have to get on the bus no more, a lot of shit you say is not that funny.
I can't remember what it is. I thought it was Weird Al, but I saw a clip, like a sketch of a comedian. It's basically like, supposed to be Jerry Seinfeld, who would do an album about flying, airplane humor, in Coach. And then he'd get successful, and then he'd start flying first class in private jet, and then he'd start making jokes about flying private jet, and then he would just bomb and fall off.
Dude, I've seen
and then he'd get poor again and start making jokes from Coach, and then he would start selling a bunch of stuff and give.
No, that's why like John Mulaney really like had a cheat code Like somebody that rich and famous shouldn't still be that funny.
I know, it's crazy.
But
Every special he does is great.
The drug addiction shit.
Is it?
That I mean, it's just like him talking about trading fucking a
Watch
Rolex for drugs. Like that's something a drug addict is gonna do regardless if they the richest person in the world or the brokest person. Like the rich person could just go grab their own Rolex. The broke person is gonna go steal their mom's watch and go do it. So it's just like he has things that he can talk about.
So
like,
you're saying the key to being successful as a rich comedian is cocaine?
No. It can help. I think it's vulnerability.
Yeah.
I think once you get to the fame and level John Mulaney is at, you don't want to be made fun of anymore. You're cool now. You're rich. You're famous. You get to do whatever you want.
Right.
Like poking fun at yourself. Like that's, especially men, once they get to that point, especially if you're doing comedy, you've probably been made fun of or your whole life. And so once you become like a superstar, you done with that shit. But once you're done with that shit, it's not funny anymore. You can't poke fun at yourself. How can you poke fun at other shit? So like you got these rich dudes that like take themselves too seriously and give advice on podcasts and then sell out arenas and don't tell any jokes. And John Mulaney is not one of those people because he's willing to be vulnerable.
I also think he loves it. Like,
yeah,
he loves doing.
Well, that's the thing.
Loves working and doing stuff.
I think if you love it, you will be vulnerable and stuff. But yeah, I think it gets harder and harder the more successful you are to be good at stand up. Because like, I saw Seinfeld at the Improv. Like,
oh no,
was it like it was like a year ago? It was so funny, bro. They treat this dude like he's like the president of comedy. It's crazy. Like, first I'm chilling at the bar and I hear Seinfeld's coming. So like he has this convertible that pulls up. Some dude comes to the car and helps him put his like suit jacket on. He can't even put his own suit jacket on.
That's crazy.
Then they take his car in the valet, and then like 3 people that work at the Improv are like standing at the front of the door. Like
welcome to the Improv,
like
Mr.
it's a
Seinfeld.
resort on White Lotus or some shit. They're like standing there waiting for this nigga, and they're like, "Mr. Seinfeld, hi!" And I'm just like sitting there like, "Are y'all serious right now, bro? Get off his dick, bro. You're not 17." Anyway, so they pull him into, so he goes to do his spot, and like, I look at like the other comics that are in there that are like either working at the Improv or they're just chilling, and we're all looking at each other like, this shit is so funny. Like when he walks on stage, the whole room goes crazy because it's just like, well, I'm getting to see Jerry Seinfeld for $30 and 2 drinks. Like usually I'd have to pay like $400 to see this grifter tell jokes. And so he gets up there and he does this joke because like his whole thing has been like comparing stuff. And like you said, he's super rich now. So he did like a joke about like, why is it called taking an Uber, but you get on the train? And like, he like stopped.
Woo!
And like, they all start screaming, laughing. I saw one dude throw his hat in the air. And I was just like, this is like, it's American people. This is like, you're good at comedy when you can crush in front of people that have no idea who you are.
Right.
Because it becomes this thing, this weird Matrix type situation, especially if you're like a white guy that gets famous. Once you get like an audience that just likes you and loves you, it doesn't matter what you say. Like, and I could tell, I was just like, he's not saying anything. And then this really dope comedian that's starting to pop right now, he just had a really big viral moment. This young black dude named Ryan Davis. He's fucking hilarious. He went on after him and was telling like real jokes and like crushed and like, he even said it up top. He's like, yeah, I know, none of y'all know me. And he went up there and crushed for like 10 minutes. And it was just funny seeing the juxtaposition of like Seinfeld just phoning it in just to have fun for 15 minutes. And then this like young black dude that like needed to do well at this spot.
Wait. So you're seriously telling me Seinfeld got a hat throw off of why do you take an Uber, but you get on?
Call an Uber. Get the joke right.
Oh.
Why do we call it? I think it's call an Uber and take the train. And it's basically a reiteration of a joke he used to tell like 30 years ago. Because, that's like his thing. Like he'll like do a special from a long time ago and he'll like redo it and like put it out.
I watched his, I never like sit down and just watch a Seinfeld set,
I saw the show is
and
incredible.
I saw some of his clips from the show.
I'll shit on his stand-up forever. I don't give a fuck. The dude's never gonna work with me. But the TV show, oh my God. Seinfeld, the TV show, I think it's the best sitcom ever.
Was he ever good?
Well, I
this
thought
is just a shit on Jerry Seinfeld podcast, but like
what's he gonna do?
all of his he's gonna book me on the next on Seinfeld
what's
too.
He gonna do? Get the IDF on us or something?
What was it? Oh, but like all of the clips from
They're
Seinfeld,
bad.
it's got the boom, 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 like in the
Yeah.
background to keep your attention.
Exactly.
And then they got like
Me
crowd
personally-
reaction that's
Right.
edited in, you know?
Me personally, I thought the joke in the show was like, he's not a good comedian and his friends are funnier than him. I thought that was always
Yeah.
the premise of the show. But apparently that's not the premise of the show.
I mean, they do that a lot. Like everybody
I
he
get it.
dates doesn't think he's funny.
Yeah, but I think if you went to Jerry and was like, hey, so the premise of the show is that you're not a good comedian, and he'd be like, what the fuck? I guarantee you that is not how he feels about that TV show. But nah, dude, him and Larry, they was cooking. It's just a great sitcom. Like, it's just dope.
It was revolutionary at the time, right? Because
Yeah.
used to sitcoms all had like
It's a family
neat,
dynamic.
a neat little wrap up, tie up at
Uh-huh.
the end where everybody learns something and
They're
all
just
that
like,
kind of stuff. And
this show
there's
has-
all horrible
This
people
show
and they
has
stay
no
that way.
lessons. They're all horrible, and it's funny. And like Seinfeld is great because like that's how we get, It's Always Sunny, and that's how we get like shows like Workaholics and things like that. Groups of friends. Of just,
Yeah, I
like,
really do feel like Always
crazy.
Sunny is like it drew almost all their inspiration from Seinfeld. But they
Seinfeld,
just,
and I think they said they just like they saw Friends and was like, we want to make a fucked up version of that that's actually funny, and so like that's why they made it, and it's been on TV forever.
you been watching Always Sunny? Any of the new stuff lately?
Yeah, I
Is it
watched.
still good?
Yeah, it's great. I know a lot of the people that work on the show because Dave and It's Always Sunny kind of shares like
Writers.
writers. Yeah, we had a few people that have done both shows, and like they're cooking over there. Like they had this episode last season where Frank does like, and that's Danny DeVito's character. He does like a chess competition, and
That doesn't sound very frank.
well, here's the thing. So to know how to win, he has like these
Anal beads?
He has these things in his ass
Oh.
that like vibrate to tell him where to move the chess
Uh-huh.
piece. And I think like during the thing, I forget what happens, but it like malfunctions. So his ass is just vibrating while he's playing chess. It was the funniest shit I saw on TV.
Did you know
last year.
that was like a real thing?
Yeah, that's why they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the,
No, that's kind of like in fact, I had a meeting with some guys that write and produce on the show, and they were saying that they've really been kind of drawing from like real life because there's a real life event that happened last year or earlier this year that they're gonna have in the new season. I can't say what it is, but it's gonna be really funny. So like they've been drawing from like real life a lot, and I think that's really dope. So yeah, I love Danny DeVito. That show, it's a masterpiece.
that's like my favorite show. But I stop around season. I don't really like season like I think it's 11 or 12.
Why is that?
I don't know. It just doesn't. The dialogue. They don't feel like they're hanging out with each other as much as they do in the earlier seasons. Like it sounds more. I mean, I haven't like watched past that.
Yeah, you gotta
I'm
watch
the kind of
past that.
person who's like, I watch 10 seasons of a show,
Okay,
and I see 2 bad episodes in a row.
And
I'm
you
done with that
done?
show.
that's not fair.
Well, that's just, because I've had so many shows that get milked to the end and they should have ended before, and they
Yeah.
have, and especially dramas. If
Especially
I won't watch a
dramas.
drama unless I hear about the ending.
Dramas,
And if the ending is good, I'll watch the whole thing.
dramas usually all go too long. Not anymore because shows get canceled so quick. But nah, dramas usually go too long because the most dramas, the first or second season is the best season.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because the story's fast paced, and then you notice after they get a season or two, they're like, "Whoa, we're making more money. Slow this shit down."
I feel like Succession got season 3 was where it really hit a stride. What do you think?
Well, I didn't get
I-
into it till season 3 because I didn't even know about it. I just don't.
I didn't start watching it until I heard about the finale. and
I just
found out
don't
it
be
was good.
watching white TV like that. That's why, like, It's Always Sunny. That's a little different because it's been on for so long. But whenever there's like a new white TV show, I purposely don't watch it because I feel like every time
You're not watching White Lotus then, huh? Every time
I watch the beginning and it's just all I need.
it's like so obvious. It's just
it
like it's
wasn't-
white people on vacation.
Yeah, it's
that,
just
like,
not from. It's.
I
And
mean, I'm white, but I don't relate
I'm
to
not
these
saying,
people. You know,
and I'm not saying the show is bad or anything. I fuck with Mike White. He's a Survivor alumni. I fuck with Survivor. I fuck with Mike White.
wait. He wrote for Survivor.
No, he was on Survivor.
He was on
He like made
Survivor.
it really far. Like he was a good player.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
I didn't know that.
No, Mike White is a G.
That's
I-
crazy.
I fuck with Mike. But it's just like White Lotus, it's not for, I'm a young black dude. Like, what the fuck does watching these white people on vacation in different countries have to do with me? Why would I care about that?
Yeah.
And like that's not me saying it's bad or anything. And then like when people are like, oh my God, you're not watching White Lotus, and I was just like, bro, the last black thing you watched on TV probably had Eddie Murphy in it, so shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like white people like don't watch black TV, so like why are they always like, oh my God, you're not watching white whatever? Like no, I don't care. Like and that's the thing. Like on the internet is like every year there's a new white show that's a drama, and if they have the right chiseled chin and kind of have abs or a little bit and they yell at each other, it's the best show on TV. All white people, all they have to do is have pretty white people argue with each other with some pensive music in the background, and it's the best television show of all time. And it's like, get the fuck out of here. So that's like when I saw Succession and I saw that nobody on the show was hot, I was like, oh, okay, this is probably actually a really good show. Nobody.
You don't think nobody's hot on Succession?
No, not like physically attractive. No.
Really?
Not really.
I mean, Shiv's pretty hot.
Is she hot relative to the other characters? She's a very pretty woman.
She's hot on her own.
She's a pretty woman.
She's styled to not be hot because the way they dress for like the rich people shit.
When
like,
I say hot, I mean like they're not purposely doing the thing of like it's people getting out the pool in slow motion.
Right, they aren't showing.
Like
right.
I'm not saying
it's not gratuitous.
I'm not saying the actors on Succession are
Yeah.
ugly. I'm just saying like they're very much in business attire every single episode and dressing in like gray and black. Like they're not trying to be sexual and stuff.
Right.
So like when I saw when I saw like, oh, these people dress boring every episode and they're not like models and shit, like, oh, okay, this is probably a really good show. So then I tapped in and I was like, oh, this is really good. You know?
Succession is a drama, but there's moments in it that's like the funniest shit I've ever seen on TV.
Well, those dudes come from a comedy background.
All the writers,
Jesse Armstrong, the British dude that created the show, he had this comedy show in the UK called The Peep Show.
Mm-hmm.
I've never watched it, but I've heard it's very funny. I can't watch British stuff. Just I'm not listening to that goofy shit. But it's just like, yeah, he comes from a comedy background, and I think whenever somebody comes from a comedy background and they make something serious or dramatic, it's always gonna be dope because we already tap into dark places to get the jokes and the funny moments. So if you don't, so it's just like when you write something, and I recently wrote a movie set in a different time period, and it's not a comedy, but it has funny things. But like when you don't have to write something where like there has to be 6 jokes a page, it's very freeing. Like you don't
have to get your JPMs up.
Exactly.
You don't have to cut shit out.
Exactly.
It sets up context.
And then it makes the jokes you do have in there land really hard. And that's why like the 2 or 3 times you might laugh in a Succession episode, you laugh really hard. Like it really hits. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not expecting
I try to show people Succession sometimes.
Yeah.
And
it's a very talky show.
Yeah. And I have to, for the first, you watch the first episode, you don't think that this is going to be that funny of a show.
No.
And I have to be like, no, just wait. You got to watch about 6 episodes, and then you're going to see the situation you're going to lose your shit at.
Yeah, the first episode is very much just like setting the world up.
I know, you got to tell about who
the
these
second
people
one
are.
Kind of gets into a little more. The third episode is really when I was like, oh, this is good. Okay. But like
it did take me a while to get into the session. What grabbed me was just like I was watching it.
The acting was just so fucking good in the show. And I was like, oh, okay, this is dope, you know. But yeah, I mean, Succession was fire. But that's the thing, it's just like we're in this era of like the last 8 to 10 years where everybody's become, I guess, I don't want to use the word woke because I hate when people say that, but I would say more progressive in their thinking as far as class goes. So we're getting all these shows about how like rich people bad, white people bad, but all that does is you're just still making a bunch of TV shows about white people and rich people. Now you're just showing that they're bad, but it still didn't change the problem.
They're still the stars.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's one black person in White Lotus, and I know her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy. Black people go on vacation. Jesus Christ! And so it's like
wait.
Natasha Rothwell. She's hilarious.
I can't remember her name.
Insecure.
But, she was in the earlier seasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
She was okay.
She's a very funny performer. She had her own show.
Is she a comedian?
She's a comedic actress, but she wrote for SNL for a minute too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's dope as fuck. But like
I only watched the first episode of White Lotus season 3 and
from
got
what
bored,
I heard,
so
she's giving a great performance in White Lotus. Because you know, so it's just like, but it's just like, why can't we have a show why can't we have a prestige drama where we don't need white people in it? So it just gets to the point where like a new white show will come out and it's like I'm not watching this. Like I'm not giving this my energy. I've done it. They just keep coming out. TV is just so much whiter.
You haven't seen Severance then, huh?
I saw the first couple episodes. It's cool. I just haven't finished. I just haven't had the time to finish it.
It's all right. I feel like they drag out a lot of the episodes.
Yeah.
With some of the shots are just extremely long,
It's
and
so,
I get bored.
It's so well shot though.
The shots are composed well and all that kind of stuff. I just feel like they could like speed up some of the stuff
I fuck
like
with
that.
Adam Scott too. But yeah, it's a show I'll finish. It's just one of those shows that I also like. It's gonna take me a second because like with me, dramas are just so like you said, drawn out. Like I remember in college when I realized what it was. I was watching. I really liked that show, How to Get Away with Murder, back in the day, because like Viola Davis is like my favorite actress, and then there's this other actress in the show, younger, that's so pretty. Her name was Asia Naomi something, I think. But anyway, like it's like Viola Davis and these law school students, and I realized that drama shows on TV do this thing where the first scene of the show is like crazy, that draws your attention, and then there's like a bunch of filler in the middle. And then the last scene is a cliffhanger to make you watch the next episode the next week or the next episode in streaming. And I was just like, and then I started watching other drama shows and I was like, they're just all doing this. This is crazy. Why doesn't every TV show just 30 minutes? But it's like for ads and stuff like that. You want a show that's longer because you can fit more ads in it. I get it. But it's just like, I think all TV would be better if it was all 30 minutes.
Yeah, basically.
Because then you wouldn't have to stretch so much out.
But then there's some shows. Do you like Mad Men?
I've only seen the pilot of it.
I think that like that's like the best show, like the drama, like
that's where like Elizabeth Moss started, right?
Yeah,
I like her.
And I feel like John Hamm kind of blew up off of it too.
Yeah, John Hamm a beast.
But the show is also like really funny, but you gotta like wait for a little bit before you start thinking. And that show is shot more like the episodes are shot more like a movie. Like the shots, they don't linger on stuff. They go quick, and the episodes will be like 45 minutes, but it won't feel that way. Yeah. And then they ended the show in time. Season 6, they were done. And
everybody I know that watched that show loved it. But again, it's just, that's another one of those like
white people shows.
White people were bad in the 60s. No shit. I have grandparents. They told me.
They introduced, I think it was just basically one black actor. Yeah. Like around season 3. Otherwise, it was just like all white people.
Yeah, that's that's the thing where all these streamers and networks or whatever, when they have like the prestige show, it just usually means white. Like that's why Atlanta and Insecure were very important. Like, and I hate saying things are important, but I think like it was very important because like they were black shows that were done very well, but they were seen as like prestige, whatever, that could get awards also. And we just like, we don't get that shit usually. So
how is Vince Staples' show regarded? Did you like it?
Yeah, it was cool.
I've been waiting for the season 2 of that.
Yeah,
they said it's coming, but I don't know when.
I know he was.
There's only 5 episodes in the first season.
That's the thing. And that's the other thing. How you gonna give this really creative young guy that has a huge fan base a TV show, and then just be like, but you only get 5? How does a show even develop at that point? That's just a movie. Mm-hmm. Like, because I think they're all like 25 minutes. Like, essentially, he made like a movie's worth of TV. So it's like I felt like.
Oh, they're gonna give him more episodes next season, right? You got to.
I hope so, but and it did really well, like as far as people watching it. But I mean, shouldn't it do well? What other young black person has a show on Netflix? Like, so it's just like it should do well. It's the only one.
Dude, the bank robbery,
that was sick.
It was fucking hilarious. Just like, that's the one I showed to everybody.
That was the best episode, and it was just like, but the thing is, he only got to do 5, so who knows like what other ideas he had. But it's like, how do you, especially a funny show that's supposed to be funny and like a critique on culture and commentary and stuff like that, how do you make a great show if you don't get opportunities to really like develop the voice of it? 5 25-minute episodes is not long enough to be able to do that.
Right.
And so it's just like, especially let's say if 1 or 2 are hit or miss, like you only got to make 5. So like, yeah, I didn't feel like that was fair. It felt like Netflix was doing this whole like, we're going to give you a show, but we're only going to give you this much to see what's going to happen. Because they did that with Abbott Elementary too. She only got 6 episodes the first season.
Oh, really?
And then it popped and they were like, oh, can you give us $1 million?
And English Teacher 2 only got 8 episodes.
I think so.
Which is better than 5, but it was still really short and
even that show I don't think really got to show what it was about. Because it just didn't get enough. Because that's the thing, they're doing this thing, and you know, at the end of the day, greed is always going to be the problem. But like, there's no way you should make a TV show that has hour-long episodes and you have a TV show that makes 30-minute episodes and they put out the same amount of episodes. That doesn't make any sense. Like, why does the half-hour show only make 8 episodes too if the hour show is making 8 episodes? They're getting to do 8 hours of storytelling. We're doing 4.
You ever watch old sitcoms and see the season's got like 22 episodes in it?
And like you'll have an episode that just follows a certain character, or they only stay at this location for a second, or it's a bottle episode, and like you have all these things that really develop who the characters are, and the writers get to have more fun. And because I feel like is it
because used to it was more about ads and they just wanted more stuff like that, and now it's all streaming and
I feel like that's an excuse you can make, sure. But I think it was more like they got greedy and greenlit a bunch of shows and was like, let's just do 8 episodes of a bunch of shows instead of really developing.
But they're still doing not very many shows and doing only 8 episodes.
Well, that's as of recent. I just think now it takes a lot more to get a show made. And it seems like, Apple TV is throwing a lot of money at places and people that are like famous already and stuff like that, But yeah, I just think it's just harder to get a TV show made because of the marketplace. But that's the thing that I just don't like wording like that. And I tell people in the industry, like, none of this shit is real when you're saying like, oh yeah, the marketplace just, it's just not a good place for comedy. And it's like, what the fuck does that mean? Because who's setting the marketplace? We use these words and we say these things, but we don't ever put like names or faces to what we're talking about. And so it's just like, for what I know, all the people I know that want to watch TV and watch movies, they've never stopped wanting to see funny stuff or hear funny stuff. Like, all these comedians are selling out arenas and podcasts are selling out theaters and shit. You don't think those same people don't want to go see a funny movie? So it's just like that. And that's the thing. It's like comedy is always going to like go past whatever you let it do. We're not going to stop making people laugh. We're just going to figure out new ways to go do it. But
do it in short form video content.
We'll do it in short form video content. We'll do it in podcasts. We'll do a fucking show in a backyard. It doesn't, like, we're not going to stop making people laugh because you don't want to pay for it. So it's like when they say like, oh yeah, the marketplace, and it's like, y'all are the marketplace. You can dictate what this is, like what this shit is. Whenever I ask these questions, no one ever has like a real answer for me. It's like when you ask why can't we just print more money? And then they like make up some bullshit reason of like, well, you can't print more money because the GDP thing and the number, and then they bring up all these numbers. It's like, nigga, we could just print more money. Shut the fuck up.
Well, the reason we had to stop is because people bitch about inflation too much, Which I wanted to turn the money printer on, but all these Americans are upset that the price of shit was going up.
Do the prices have to go up if there's more money? Why does that have
we
to
all got
correlate?
more money. We gonna buy more shit. The demand.
So why do the prices need to go up then?
What do you mean?
Like, why do prices of things need to go up just because we have more money?
Well, you add more money in the system. So many people need to buy a car, right? Yeah. You give everybody more money.
Okay.
People are willing to pay more for that car.
Okay.
And you know about capitalism. It's got to make one more dollar every quarter.
But that's the thing. Why do we have to do that?
That's just how we built our whole society, man.
That's stupid.
It's stupid.
Like, all this shit is made up, dog. Like, it's like I had a meeting with this huge studio, and they watched 98 Honda, the short film, and they read the script. And they're like, yeah, this is so funny. This is dope. But like, it just doesn't fit with our brand.
Jesus, don't fit with your brand?
I was just like, bro, what brand? And I'm like, dude, and I'm like, but the thing is, she's just repeating something someone higher up than her said so she can keep her job.
Is that just the generic rejection?
Yeah, she doesn't know what she's saying. Yeah. And so like, then I'm like, all right, well, what does that mean? She's like, just in this, she goes, in this landscape, comedies are just tough. And I'm like, what does that mean? What does comedies are tough mean? And she didn't have a real answer.
Maybe comedies can't sell much merch.
What movie is selling merch?
I don't know, dude.
Besides Marvel. And there's companies that don't make Marvel movies. So it's just one of those things where some rich person said I'm sure what happened was some rich person tried to like push some movie they bought at the company to Korea to try to make extra money because these people are greedy. Korean people were just like, we don't like this because we have our own comedy. Why do we need this?
Comedy doesn't translate very well into other languages.
But the thing is, it does though.
Does it?
Listen.
Okay. I mean, I had a Chinese roommate and he told me a lot about how shit in China is. Yeah. Two Broke Girls was huge.
That's what I'm saying.
China.
Some shows.
Terrible show.
I mean, that's relative.
Well, I mean, he thought it was a terrible show.
I'm not a fan of it. Like, it's not for me.
But it translated well because the jokes were like written with that in mind.
They're very
like they
simple.
were doing the whole thing for the Chinese market.
Really?
And there's a character in it who a lot of people consider a very racist caricature of an Asian person.
Oh,
but
yeah.
the Chinese people love that character.
Wow.
And the show got 7 seasons almost entirely because of China.
Well, yeah, and
same with Big Bang Theory is huge in China too.
Really?
And that's why they keep making more shit about it.
Okay, that's why they do the spinoffs. But yeah, well, yeah, and that's the thing. But it's just like, it is also like, well, comedy movies are always like, oh, this doesn't sell overseas. And it's like, okay, what Japanese comedy are we all watching over here? And so it's just like, why do we feel like we need to have all these other countries?
Because, capitalism has to get plus $1 every time. So you got to have a new market all the time. It's all
greed and shit. And so then that's when they're like, okay, so we're just not going to make comedy movies at all anymore. And it's like, so because I can't make some Korean niggas laugh, I can't make niggas over here laugh no more. That's fucked. What are we doing?
Have you ever seen, I saw like video, like it would take the Chinese transcript of an American movie and then put it back into English. And it just sounds dumb as hell. Like everything they say, and it makes the movie just dog shit. So there's stuff in the translation. And the reason Disney's going so much into the CGI remakes. Yeah. Like Lion King, the remake of Lion King sold like crazy international in Europe and in China.
That's not for us.
And they make it all to where everything can be rewritten and like re-lip synced for that market.
Of course.
So that's how they do
that's
a lot
what they're thinking of.
They're all trying to reach into the Chinese market.
Comedy doesn't fit into that. And so...
Because it's got to be smart and stuff. You got to have like wordplay and shit like that. And you can't just translate it to anything else.
But I just feel like that, and that's the thing, it's like greed ruins culture because culturally we still need that. You know what I'm saying? And so, so then you have people in these offices that their bosses is saying, yeah, comedies are tough because you can't sell it in China or you can't sell it in this country and things like that. But it's just like Chinese people aren't trying to sell their comedy to us. They don't give a fuck what we think.
They're trying to sell us like social media companies and stuff like that.
Yeah, but that's different. I mean, that's what a social media company does. But like, I've met Chinese filmmakers and I've been to China and they're like, yeah, bro, we're not trying to make movies y'all like. We don't care. Yeah. And so it's just like, that's it. And also, I think you're putting a limit on it because you actually don't know that. What if a movie pops over there? Like, I remember I went to China for the first time and Avril Lavigne was just randomly on every tea bottle out there.
Oh, you didn't know about that?
Dude,
Avril Lavigne is huge in East Asia.
They almost killed her one night, like at a show, because like they rushed the stage.
Taylor Swift is also huge in East Asia too.
Yeah, she is huge over there. So it's just like, I don't know. I feel like you don't know Taylor Swift is huge over there until you put the music in that market, So I just feel like two people get to make all the rules in Hollywood and then it trickles down to this company because they got lunch with the assistant over there. And now you got 100 companies that all think, oh, we can't make comedies no more. And then now you got comedians leaving LA and moving and shit like
Alston.
that. Yeah, because it's just like, well, if I can't make money doing this, then I'm going to go to Joe Rogan's club and get paid $100 a set. I get it. When you tell people like, yeah, should I be writing a sketch packet or a script to be on what? There's no shows. And so it's just like, that's why like it's been frustrating. I know I've talked to several comedians. Like that's why I don't feel uncomfortable saying it.
Do you know about how the Federal Reserve works and with interest rates?
Nah.
So they raise, which is the rate on which they'll loan back money. So like they'll loan money to banks. Yeah. And the bank has to pay it at a certain rate back to the Federal Reserve. Okay. And that's how they fund shit. And whenever, first under Obama, whenever the recession hit, we dropped rates down to like almost zero. Okay. To where banks could get money easy. So they were trying to like put a bunch of stuff out there for a long time from like 2009 till about 2017. And then they started to slowly raise rates. And then under COVID, they dropped it back down to zero again, basically, because we needed more cash flow because we were trying to avoid a recession. Yeah. Right. So, but then recently, it was around 2022 when we started cranking the shit up. And now it's like higher than it's ever been. It's like, I think it's like 5%, 4%, something like that.
Shit.
Whereas usually under like Obama, I think it was like 2%.
God
So I think a lot of the studios, and it's not just like an entertainment industry thing. All companies right now are trying to like just reduce overhead, not invest much for the
Yeah,
future,
so a lot of people
and
get
wait for
fired.
interest rates to drop before they start funding shit, before they start hiring people. So maybe whenever that stuff, we'll have to drop it after Trump crashes the economy eventually, So maybe they'll start funding shit again at that point.
I don't know. I just don't have any.
You have no faith.
I have no faith in these people.
All right. So you brought up 98 Honda, and we need the audience to see this clip.
Yeah.
Niles made a pilot for a movie. Is that how you describe it?
Short film.
A short film.
Yeah.
Let me bring it up.
2 for Spider-Man 2.
What time?
1 o'clock.
Oh, that's sold out.
All right, 4.
Oh, that's sold out too.
What's not sold out, bro?
Oh, everything's sold out. Niggas love Spider-Man, bro.
So why'd you just let me waste my time?
Oh, man, it just be cool to have somebody to talk to sometimes.
What?
You can watch The Notebook. There's some good movies, man.
I was supposed to take a 9-year-old to go see a rom-com?
Hey, it's not a rom-com, bro. That's a beautiful movie. The Stepford Wives is playing.
What the fuck is a Stepford Wife?
Oh, man, it's the movie with all the wives in the neighborhood. You didn't see the...
You weird, bro.
No?
All right, look, we gonna figure something else out. Fuck you, all right?
Oh, you have a good one, bro.
I heard Tobey Maguire's kind of a jerk anyway. You'd be a better superhero. What would your powers be?
Well, I have to be able to fly.
Yeah?
Then have super strength. And shoot lava from my hands. And control lightning and maybe some super
You a
speed.
black
and
superhero.
all
They're
that.
not gonna let you do all that, bro. Give me the car.
All right. Talk about the movie a little bit. Tell the audience what it's like.
That kid is such a good actor, man. Such a good actor. He was fun to work with. Yeah, we made this short film called 98 Honda. It's a proof of concept for a feature film of the same name that I wrote a few years ago. A lot of people have said it's like they love the script, and the script one like got nominated for awards and stuff, but it's hard to get money for a feature film with like first time director and like people that don't have like many credits and stuff. So we just thought like, hey, I want this to live in the world somehow. So let's make it like a proof of concept short film. And so we made a short film that's kind of like a condensed version of the beginning of the movie. So it's like the first 15 minutes of what the real movie would be like. Yeah, so we went the festival route, and we got into a lot of festivals. We won a couple awards at certain festivals. We screened at a really big one. Like we screened at the Montclair Film Festival. It's like one of the top 50 film festivals.
Where is that? France?
In New Jersey.
Okay.
And yeah, it's one of the biggest ones
Close.
in the country. Honora was there. Conclave was there. Denzel's son directed this movie called like it's something about a piano. I watched it. It was really cool. But that movie was there. There was a lot of big movies that were at this festival that we were also in. So it just kind of showed like the quality of like our work and everything. So yeah, it was dope. It was fun. It did what a short film does. It just shows people you can do it. And then people are like, well, good job. So it's just like, all right, back to the drawing board. It used to be like you make a dope proof of concept and bam, you get a deal. And now it's just like, now it's just not like that anymore. So what that did teach me though is I can grab my friends, we can make a really dope film for a certain amount of money. And what I do know is because of the credits that I have and the representation I have, I can get it to companies and people and stuff like that are very like important. So yeah, so we're just gonna make our own movie that'll be low budget, cheap to make, and we're working on that right now. I'm really excited about it. It's like the only thing I can really think about lately. It's been a fun process of just like developing it and getting the money together and like putting a team together. Like it's been fun. I encourage any filmmaker out there, if you feel like you can do it, go figure out what you can do for what you got and just keep going from there. First thing I ever shot, my first comedy special, did that. I think the budget was like $75 because we did it in my friend's living room and we just bought a bunch of liquor and the tickets were free and people showed up. And I've gone from that to short film that we made for like $3,500 to 98 Honda was like a $45,000 thing. And then now this movie we're about to make is gonna be like 120. So, it's just like, just keep moving up and moving up. Just make what you can.
Yeah, that special you shot for $75 is how I found you in the
Right.
first place.
That's
I
how
saw
most
your
people
joke
found
and
me.
was like, I want him on. Saw you coming through Kansas City. And I was like, I got to get him on my show.
That was a really fun show too. I had a good time.
It sucks I had to quit it. I
Well,
was
you can only
running
do
this show out of my basement.
Yeah, you can only do that
and,
for so long.
Yeah, I got kind of famous quickly, and
You did.
It got weird, and
Yeah.
I had to cut that off pretty fast. But it was great. The acoustics were great.
It was.
Every show was great. Like even I had some comedians that weren't that great up there, and they would crush anyway. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter because the environment was so good.
I did like
It
over an
worked.
hour that
yeah,
night.
you did
too.
an hour.
I think I looked at the tape. It was like 75 minutes or something like that. That whole night was crazy because remember
You stepped off the plane.
My flight got delayed.
I thought you might miss it, so we were like trying to like
Stall.
stretch the show a
Yeah.
little bit to get Niles on it.
Yeah, nah, it's just like flight got delayed. I got there. Literally, I got there and you're like, hey, you're about to go on stage. I took a whiskey shot and just went and did it. And didn't really even get to think about it much. And it's crazy. Like my friends that I was supposed to meet out there, they were already like there at the house and stuff.
Mhm.
So yeah, that was crazy. It was a really good show. You had a really good show down there. I feel like I caught it at like the right time to be able to do it like in the basement and everything.
Yeah, R.I.P. Now I try to transfer the aesthetic to like comedy clubs and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I like how you
And-
decorate your sets and stuff.
Yeah, but it was so the overhead. We had to carry all that shit around.
Whenever, yeah, that's the thing.
especially in New York.
I bet.
Those comedy club people do not want you to set up
don't want you to
anything
do
on their stage. They want you to have no setup
No.
and get off the stage as soon as your show is over so they can start cleaning up and get ready
Get
for the
in the
next show.
next
So it
one,
just
yeah.
don't work.
Yeah.
The world destroyed it for a lot of good reasons for some kind of cute show like
It's
that.
because too many men run stand up, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Like I feel like if there was more women involved, like y'all show would have got more embraced. Because I really liked shows that have personality, and I
Mhm.
thought that was really cool what y'all were doing with like the set design and like the theme, and I always really enjoyed
when
that.
I first did it, I was so like optimistic and like not jaded
Yeah.
for how comedy would go.
Absolutely.
And just as I've learned more and as I've like been around it and stuff, it's like it's not necessarily the audience, but the people in the industry,
Yeah.
other comedians, they all want to like pretend like they don't care about the show.
Yep.
They hate high effort
Yep.
production
Yep.
because they think that that's like cheating or something.
Yeah. And I also think a lot of comedians aren't really creative outside of the telling the joke thing. And so I think they can get intimidated when they see people do things differently.
I had a lot of people talk shit about the design.
Of course they
People
do.
was calling it the pedophile show.
What?
Like in Kansas City, there were other comedians that would call it the pedophile show just because we did the cute girl thing on the bed.
What the fuck?
Dude,
That's so weird.
there were so many people who tore into this show for like various reasons.
I mean,
And it was just like the world wouldn't support a high effort, high production thing.
that's so lame.
I
Like
know.
and we gotta get out of that like too cool to care shit. And then or when somebody's doing something like dope creatively, you feel inferior or you feel intimidated. So the only way you can respond is by talking shit about it or trying to down it.
Yeah, and these comedians, they would run their shows at a bar.
Yeah.
2 people show up.
That's really what they are upset
Yeah.
about. Not only did your show have a different thing to it, I never did one of your shows where it wasn't packed. Whether it was in your basement, whether
We
it
had
was
a
at
few of
venue.
those, but it was like
Yeah.
New York once on a
Yeah.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Didn't promote the show good. Nobody
that's
was there. But
different.
most of it, dude, Chicago
Yeah.
is the best.
I had heard about
It's
I
so
even heard
easy to
about,
sell
I think
out
I heard about your
Chicago.
Chicago show. I think one of my friends did it. But
Next
yeah,
time I go to Chicago, I want to do at least 2 because
Chicago is my favorite city to do
people
stand-up.
buy shit there. It's
Well,
crazy.
They want to have a good time.
Yeah.
They're not like you said, they're not jaded. They just want to have a good time. But yeah, I hate that about comedian culture in general. Of just like, oh, they're trying. Fuck them. Like, what? Are you serious right now? Like, I remember when I first
Yeah, they call it like try hard. It's like,
yeah, like I remember when I first started comedy, I was like 20 going on 21. And I remember somebody being like, yeah, man, yeah, if you want to write TV or you want to do stand-up, you're not going to be able to be good at both. And I was just like, I'm literally, I just turned 21. I'm like looking at them like, no, you can't be good at both. Like, what are you talking? Like, there's plenty of people that have done both and do both very well. But it's just like, that's a thing that people do. If they can't do something, then they have to make sure someone else can't do it too. And yeah, and so like they couldn't put on a show like you could, so they wanted you to feel bad about it. Because why would you even call something a pedophile show? That's fucking crazy.
Dude, I don't know if they understood the connotations of calling
And
a trans
that's
woman
what I'm
show
saying. Like
a pedophile
you can get
show.
somebody hurt doing shit like that. That's
Yeah.
not funny. Like that's not right. Yeah, fuck that.
I know people suck, man. All right, so we're getting in a podcast. I haven't asked you opinions on the Lakers.
Oh, we cool. We cooling. I think we're gonna get the 3rd seed. To be honest, I'd like
Who
to
to play in the first?
That
It's kind of like
we'd-
close on the
we'd
back
play-
end, right?
We'd probably play Golden State or Minnesota. I'd rather play.
I haven't
I'd
seen
rather
Golden
play
State since they got Jimmy Butler.
They're
Are they good?
Yeah, they're good. They're very good against teams they're supposed to beat, if you know what I
Mhm.
mean. But like
They play OKC and they struggle.
yeah, the above 500 teams, like I don't think they can beat the Lakers. I don't think they can beat Denver. I don't think they.
You don't think
OKC.
playoff LeBron will wake up a little bit?
I mean, doesn't he always?
Yeah, he does.
He
So
been
it's
chilling.
like-
He been chilling, and like they're gonna be in the third. They're gonna be the 3rd seed. I think they're tied for 4th right now, and they just lost. They just won 3 out of their last 4 after losing 4 in a row. Because we had a lot of injuries. LeBron was hurt. Rui was hurt. Austin Reeves was hurt for a little bit.
They're pretty healthy now, right?
Yeah, they're getting back to
we
it.
got how many days till playoffs start?
Let's see if it's end of March. Probably got like 2 weeks. Usually playoffs start mid-April. Yeah, I want to stay out of that 4-5 spot. I'd rather not play OKC in the second round.
That's right. Be scared.
No, I'm not scared at all. It's just I'd rather play a team like that with where their legs aren't as fresh. And it's just like it's not
You think OKC's gonna get less fresh than LA over time?
everybody gets less fresh. And that's when half court basketball takes over. And who's better at that? Who's better than that than Luka, LeBron, and Jokic? That's why it's fucking terrible to play either one of them in the playoffs. Because like that's when you get to game 3, game 4, game 5, all that strategy shit is out the door. You're tired.
ISO ball mostly.
Everybody's playing hurt. It's ISO ball matchups and hunting the worst defender every time. And if you don't have a guy that can just do that and not only just score but set everybody else up and get them wide open shots, you're just not gonna win in the playoffs. It's just not gonna happen. You can be the best team in the regular season. And
It's gonna be crazy.
I don't believe in this Cleveland Cavaliers shit at all.
Or is that just because they're new?
Are they they new?
I mean,
They were hurt last year.
well, yeah, sure.
They were a good regular season team too last year until they got hurt. This year they were healthy, so they won a bunch of games. Like they're built for the regular season. But you tell me, you scared of Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland in the 4th quarter of a playoff game?
No, because I'm an OKC fan.
I don't think anyone's scared of them. But it's just like the Knicks have
They did beat us. They were the only Eastern Conference team that beat OKC this year.
Yeah, because they tried. That's the other thing. A lot of these teams don't be trying.
Really?
Yeah.
They play against good teams and they just give up?
Yeah, some of them, you can tell some of these guys just do not try. And then like March, like end of the like All-Star break is over, end of February, like the vets start kind of like revving up. But like a lot of these teams, they do just enough to make it in the playoffs, especially with this play-in shit now. Like you can tell a lot of these teams, like the try-hard teams are the young ones that got shit to prove.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I think you should still be, I think people should still be scared of the Knicks, regardless if they hit a slump or whatever. Because
Are they healthy again? I thought they had too many injuries.
I mean, I feel like they'll be better come April. But if Jalen Brunson's on the court and he can play, you should be scared of the Knicks.
Oh, I thought he was done for the season.
I don't think so, unless I read something wrong. I think he's gonna be back. But yeah, if that dude's on the court, you can't just be like, oh, fuck the Knicks. Same with the Celtics. Like they didn't, and it's like the Cavs won so many games that people think like the Celtics had like a sophomore slump type of year. They're in 2nd place, dog. Like I still don't think anybody's gonna beat them. Like so it's just I don't believe in the Cavs shit. I do believe in OKC. They still got to prove it though.
Last year we didn't have any tall guys in the playoffs,
Right?
And that came. So I'm a little worried that Chet's gonna like break his hip or something again.
I hope not. I like seeing him play.
I know.
I want him to stay healthy. I like
we need him
too.
for it to work. You know, we need the tall, long
because
guys
y'all can't rebound.
who can shoot threes. Yeah, without that, we don't got anything.
Yeah,
So
I want to see OKC be healthy because like I don't want any more what ifs. I want to see teams play them straight up, and let's see if they actually are good enough to be like a Western Conference Finals type team. Like, I don't want to have this like, oh, well, so and so is hurt, so you don't really know. You know, I don't want that shit no more. I want them to get played straight up. Because I like their team. They are really young, and usually being really young in the playoffs does not mix. And especially if Denver drops down to like 4, and like they have to play Denver in the second round or something like that, that could be tough. If Jamal Murray shows up for work, because we all know he doesn't play basketball unless they're playing the Lakers. If I was Jokic, I'd hate him. Like, you never play unless we're playing the Lakers. Whenever we play anybody else, I have to do all this shit myself. He was non-existent when they played Minnesota in the playoffs last year.
Did you see Court of Gold?
Yeah.
I haven't seen. I watched just a little bit of it yet.
It's
but
fine.
I mean, I watched those Olympic Games live and watching that Serbia versus America. That's one of the best games I've ever seen in my life. And I don't know where they pulled those other 4 Serbian guys from and how they went toe to toe with them.
Bogdanovic, he plays for.
Yeah, I know him. Who else?
Then there's Jovic that plays for the Heat.
Yeah, I don't know him.
He's really good.
But they were making some unconscious shots.
Or did Jovic make it? That was the thing. That they hadn't shot like that the whole Olympic tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And then this game was like, they just made so many. And that was the thing I was explaining to somebody. I was like, okay, so if they have an okay night from 3-point range, that game's not even close.
Mm-hmm.
Because
they were shooting like crazy.
They were shooting like crazy, but then Steph was going crazy on the other end at first quarter. And if he doesn't do that, they get blown out. He kept the team in the game. Because Steph had 21 through the first half or some shit like that. But yeah, if Steph Curry doesn't hit all those threes at the beginning of the game, they get blown out. Because Serbia was just making every shot. But then basketball is a game of runs. You just gotta withstand the run because they slowed down. Once the game slowed down and their legs were a little heavier, who took over? The vet. You know what I'm saying? LeBron took over. KD took over. KD hit that big shot. You know what I'm saying? So like, it was fun, and it felt like a movie. Like,
it really did.
Like the whole thing felt very scripted.
The French announcers called them the Avengers, and I was like, what it felt like? They were like superheroes,
and it was like the last hurrah for like those 3 guys.
I hate KD.
Why?
Because I'm a Thunder fan. Come on, he abandoned me.
Then you shouldn't hate him.
He abandoned me.
Nah, I don't like that. Because here's the thing.
He left at the top.
If you told anybody, hey, we're gonna pay you more money.
No, he was gonna get less money. He left for less money. He got less money with Golden State?
They made up for that with endorsements.
With the jersey sales, it went up because he changed teams. And it's a bigger market, and that's the real reason he left.
Yeah.
Was not because legacy or that kind of shit.
I lived in Oklahoma when he left, and I told somebody,
you lived in Oklahoma?
I went to school out there for a little bit.
Oh, right. You went to Oral Roberts.
Yeah. But I told somebody, if you approached any person and was like, hey, you want to make the same amount of money but more, but you get to work with your friends in San Francisco, not in Oklahoma City.
I get it.
You take that.
I understand why he did
14 times
it.
out of 10.
But I live in Arkansas, a shithole.
Yeah.
And the only sports team in a 6-hour radius that was worth watching was the Thunder. And I would go every year, at least twice a year, and watch them play. And I watched like Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook almost every game for 8 years. And then he just so of course but also I hate watching Steph Curry because he made so many stupid shots against OKC. But then seeing them all together on the court like that
was crazy.
I got so goddamn patriotic.
It gave me
I got so
goosebumps.
proud of America.
It gave me goosebumps. That did not make me proud of America.
It was a great game.
That made me proud of black people. America, you didn't do shit. Tall niggas did that shit, and I need y'all to understand that. There's no need for you to feel patriotic when LeBron James wins a gold medal. We can't do that. They can. But nah, it was sick. It felt like a movie. And it was also like, these are 3 guys we've been watching. I mean, we've been watching LeBron
forever.
For
we never
20,
seen him
We've
on
been
a
watching
team together,
LeBron for 20 years. We've been watching Steph for a decade. We've been watching KD.
It's crazy
for
how
like
LeBron
15.
was like the best player on the floor for most games.
How is that
like 40
crazy?
years. He's fucking 40 years old. That's objectively crazy that a 40-year-old. It's just LeBron. You know?
I mean, he's LeBron though. He's the best basketball
Jordan
player.
couldn't do that at 40 years old.
You said he could?
He couldn't do that at 40 years old.
Nah, he couldn't. But yeah. But the thing is, Jordan wasn't bad at 40.
No, he just wasn't the best player on the floor like LeBron was.
Yeah.
On the Olympic
Sad
floor,
thing was
anyway.
he was the best player on the Wizards on those teams.
Well, yeah.
That shows you how bad the Wizards were.
Second best was Jerry Stackhouse.
Was he? Yeah, he was on the team the first year, right?
No, I think it was the last year with I can't remember. I
Did he
just
play
remember
small forward on the teams?
everybody wanted Jordan to win, and
Yeah.
watching the Wizards, he was trying to get in the eighth seed in the
Yeah,
East.
they
and was struggling.
they almost got there because I think they were trying to go 41-41, and they either
I went
lost the game or.
I went and watched him in Atlanta. It was
Yeah.
one of his last games.
Yeah, I got to see him one game too.
We drove to Atlanta, and who was the guy? It's like some kind of Muslim last name. I can't remember.
Abdul Rahim.
Yeah, he hit a shot over Jordan to win the game. It was like a full court. They had to throw a full court pass to him because they didn't have a timeout or whatever.
He could hoop.
And he caught it and shot it right over Jordan.
Yeah, he's like
and I think
6'10".
that might have been the loss that kicked Jordan out of the playoffs.
Sharif Abdul Rahim. Yeah,
that was a long time ago, and that was at the time when Jason Terry was the man on the Hawks.
Tony Delk. I think Tony Delk was on that team. Yeah.
My parents took me to that game. They didn't tell me where I was going.
Really?
So I was in Arkansas, 9-hour drive to Atlanta.
They
just said, everybody get in the car. We're going on a trip. And I was upset because I didn't know what we were doing. And I was bored.
That's fun.
And then we get there and I realized we're going to a Hawks game to see Michael Jordan play. And I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. I
always say like, that's really like the only point to have kids is like take them to a sports game.
I know, right?
Like
I'll remember forever.
Like, if I did make the mistake of getting somebody pregnant, right? I'd be like, all right, well, cool. I got somebody I can force to go to Dodger. I got somebody I can force to go to Dodger games with me, you know? That because like that was something like really cool for me and my dad growing up. Like we would drive to like Memphis or New Orleans because I'm from Mississippi, so like those were the two closest places. So like I got to see like the Lakers play with like Kobe and Shaq when they would play the Hornets or they would play the Grizzlies and stuff, and that was really fun. And like I remember. I really like. I mean, I've always loved LeBron. Like since he was like in high school, because I was 8 when he was in high school and he got on that Sports Illustrated cover. So I always loved LeBron. So when he got drafted, like I wanted to go to a Cavs game so bad, but like Ohio's so far from Mississippi. But they were playing in New Orleans, and my parents got tickets to go see. It was LeBron's rookie year, and they were playing the Hornets in New Orleans. And my parents didn't tell me where we were going. We get in the car like halfway there.
So they did the exact same thing to you.
Yeah, they're like, we're going to see a basketball game. I was like, oh, who's playing? They're like the Cavaliers and the Hornets, and I was like, I'm going to see LeBron. I started crying in the car. Like that's how much I loved that man. I started crying. Man,
I remember him doing interviews in his like high school stuff.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, because everybody knew he was gonna be fucking. The next Michael Jordan.
So much pressure. Like,
and he was like he was as great as everybody said he was. I
think he surpassed what everybody thought he was gonna be. I don't because like what LeBron has done,
the extent 20 years of domination.
Exactly. What LeBron has done, we didn't even think was possible until he did it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so
on a bunch of different teams too.
That's what I'm saying. And so like that's also like the shitty thing of being like the second greatest, because you're always going to get compared to the first guy. So what you do doesn't really get like, I still believe LeBron is like underrated in a way. Mm-hmm. How does this dude have 50,000 points and people still talk shit? Like that's crazy. 50,000?
Because they're Jordan homers.
They
love Space Jam as a kid.
And that's the thing. Go watch Space Jam as an adult, dog. That shit is not good.
Terrible.
You just needed something to watch while your parents were yelling at each other in the other room. Space Jam is not a good movie, and I loved it too. I used to love putting that VHS tape.
I watched Space Jam so many times.
It's a great kids movie, and that's why when people were talking shit about Space Jam 2, it's like, you're not 7. Of course you don't think it's good, you fucking weirdo. You shouldn't think LeBron James.
You think Space Jam 2 is gonna have a big fan base? Like,
I think children
20 years from now, as they grow up, they're gonna be like referencing Space Jam 2.
I mean. Look, I feel like if you're 7, 8 years old during what LeBron's doing, I feel like you probably like Space Jam 2 as a movie, as a kid.
I haven't seen it, so I don't
Will
know.
you still be watching it when you're 30? Like, if you're still watching Space Jam as an adult, I
did try to watch it a few years ago.
Let it go.
And it's such a editing mess.
Yes.
And just the script is just
it's
so
for
bad.
Children.
It's like, why is this in here? You know? And Michael Jordan's acting was
he's terrible.
He can't play himself, you know?
Yeah, he can't even play himself. Like, dog, he's terrible. So it's just like, bruh, let it go. Let it go. Like, that was your childhood, whatever. Michael Jordan is amazing, and he is the second greatest basketball player to ever live.
Oh, bold. Okay. All right. In a podcast, make your predictions for who's going to win the Eastern Conference, who's going to win the West Conference, who's going to win championship.
Ooh, well, I put in a bet because it was plus 1,700 after they got Luka, but I put in a bet that the finals would be Lakers Celtics, and I kind of want my money, so I'm gonna put that energy in the air. So I got Lakers in the West. I got Celtics in the East.
Right. I think it's gonna be OKC, of course. I don't know between.
You should think that. You're a fan. You shouldn't say it's not gonna be.
I haven't watched enough Cavs games to know if they beat the Celtics.
I think the Cavs are a wonderful regular season team, and I think they've been exposed like the Pistons just beat them without Cade Cunningham.
Are the Pistons even a playoff team right now?
Oh yeah. They're gonna be like 5th or 6th.
I don't pay much attention to Eastern Conference.
That the Pistons are gonna be one of those teams that nobody watched during the regular season. That like during the playoffs, they're gonna surprise a lot of people. They can play, and they play good defense too. And Cade Cunningham is really good. But they're I don't think they make the second round, but they're gonna be a team that is gonna be competitive.
Hurt somebody.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, I think Boston comes out the East. I just think they shoot. I just think they shoot too many threes to not win. Like, it's just, I saw a thing the other day. Derek White just set the record for most three-pointers made in a Celtics season with 246. And at number 4 is Jason Tatum at 240 this season.
Wow.
And then right under him is Peyton Pritchard at 237 at number 5. So he just set the record for most threes ever made as a Celtic, and he has 2 teammates that could possibly catch him before the season's over. So you have 3 guys that all might set the record for most Celtics three-pointers. How do you fucking beat that?
Well, that's Celtics records.
But I'm just saying, it's just like, what other team has that, though? You have 3 guys that are all having record-setting seasons shooting the 3. How many teams have multiple guys that make 240 three-pointers? That's insane.
How many is OKC got? They make a bunch of threes.
Ain't nobody on that team making 240 or more.
Maybe not. I don't know. The whole team collectively makes a lot of threes.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. To be that,
did you know that they're right now they're tied with I think it was the 95 Bulls for the best net rating ever.
Really?
Yeah. There's like a few games left to go, and they're chasing number 1 for the best net rating of all time.
They're built for, like, that is a team that is built for the regular season. You have a bunch of young guys that haven't won anything yet, that have something to prove, and then you have a bona fide superstar that everyone knows. Like, that's the problem with the Rockets. So the Rockets are also a very young athletic team, right?
But they don't got SGA.
They don't have a guy that has made everybody else feel like they should take a step back. Like last night, they played the Lakers. Why is Dylan Brooks taking a turnaround jump shot with under a minute left? If I'm the best player on the team, I tell him absolutely not. In fact, under a minute left, you don't even touch the ball. Go sit in the corner. I got this shit. ISO. You know what I'm saying?
Dylan Brooks took an ISO shot with a minute left to go.
He took a turnaround jumper, and I think LeBron was on him. But it's just like, Lou Dort is not taking a shot like that under 30 seconds to go. He's going to make sure Shea has the ball.
Right.
So, like, OKC is a young team, but they also have an alpha dog that, like, everybody knows, like, this guy gets the shot first. And then the rest of us play. There's an ecosystem around that.
Dude, he's so fucking good.
He's amazing.
He doesn't, I don't know how he does it. Like, he's just like so slippery, and
well, he's done a good
he
job.
reminded me of Kobe a lot, and how he's so
His
silky
movements.
smooth, and he can like footwork. Stop on a dime and pull up, and
that is the key now. I think the 3 best guys at decelerating is Luka, Shea, and Jalen Brunson, and that's why they can either get a bucket or an assist every single time.
Luka's weird because he's not fast, but he can stop fast.
He don't have to be.
So he's like really good at stopping.
Yeah, I don't have to beat you anywhere.
And he just kind of like goes like that over and over until eventually your legs give out.
And the only reason, and you can only be good at that because your ball handling is really good.
Right.
So he's real herky-jerky with it. Shea's more of like quick movements. And then Brunson is just so fast and has the leverage on you because he's so low that you're either going to foul him or you're just going to like fly out the way. So like those 3 guys are just very good at stopping on a dime, pivot foot, shit like that. They're essentially controlling the defender. Mm-hmm. Like Shea can make you foul him. Like that shit is invaluable. You know what I'm saying? Like late in the game in the playoffs, that's what you need. You need a guy that can do that. You need a guy that can either get to the line or get a bucket. And so like that's why like the Rockets, that shit is fake to me. Who else is like a young team people talk about a lot? Memphis. Like unless Ja is on, I don't believe in those other guys at all. Like I just do not. They just find a way to fuck up. Like it's really weird. Like if you ever watch the end of a Grizzlies game, it's like they're just like, no, you take it. No, you take it. And it's like, dog.
Ja doesn't like take it?
No, I'm telling you when he's not in the game.
Oh.
Because he was hurt for a long time.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, they're gonna suck without him.
But it's just like you gotta play with whoever's on the court. when LeBron out, Austin Reeves dropped 40.
Man, I gotta see a OKC playoff game. I'm hoping for an early round because cheaper.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for like Memphis because I can fly to Memphis easily.
Well, y'all wouldn't play Memphis in the first round. Y'all
It would be like second round.
Y'all gonna
maybe.
play whoever the worst team comes out of the play-in.
Probably Lakers.
No, we're not going to the play-in.
Wait, are they at 4?
Yeah, we're at 4 right now.
The difference between last time I checked this. The difference between wasn't that?
Because we're like 2 games above the Warriors and they're in 6th. And then the Warriors went on a run, but like 7 through 10, it's not even there's not even close to jump down there. Because like down there you got Minnesota, you got Phoenix, you got Dallas, Sacramento, San Antonio. So like whoever makes it out of there, like y'all will probably play Phoenix in the first round. Like that's gonna be funny.
Jesus.
KD coming to
That'd be
OKC.
funny.
I don't think y'all want that though.
Why? You think he's just gonna play out?
What if he just torches y'all? He's still Kevin Durant.
The Suns are not good enough to.
You never know in the playoffs.
You want to bet on whether the Suns? Well, I guess
I
we don't
thought
know
y'all
if they're gonna play.
I thought y'all were gonna beat the Mavericks in the playoffs last year.
Well, they were a lot better than the Suns are.
Are they really?
Yes, the Suns are trash. Come on.
I didn't really believe in the Mavs like that last year.
Well, listen, PJ Washington goes nuts when he plays the Thunder. Somehow he's fucking Steph Curry and shoots like 70% from the 3-point line.
He got a lot of wide open shots.
Well, but he does.
Yeah.
He misses them against the other team and he play against us.
He knocked them down.
But we don't gotta play him anymore because the Mavericks suck and they.
Well, that's the thing. They could get 8th though.
They don't have Doncic anymore. They need him.
I mean, getting 8th is not that high of a bar.
No. But I mean, like if we play them, I'm not gonna be scared of the Mavericks like I was last year.
No, I don't think you should be scared of any team that y'all play.
I'm scared of injuries. That's what I'm scared of.
Yeah, I don't think y'all should be in it.
Chet seems like he's made of glass.
I'm not saying the Suns would beat y'all. I'm just saying like what if like I just could see.
I'll watch it.
I could just see KD.
I want to go to the Thunder. I want to see him boo Durant. That is gonna be fun.
You really think they would boo him?
They're gonna boo Durant. Yep.
That's
in a
funny.
Playoff game.
Because whenever Russ goes back to OKC,
we love him because he left when the team sucked. Like get off. Sure, we'll trade you.
I went to a game,
all that kind of stuff.
One of his first like triple double like runs back in like 2014, 2015. It was dope. He had the mask on because he had broke his nose.
That was awesome.
He had a triple double that night. I think they were playing the Pacers. It was dope.
I went when he was doing his triple double thing. I saw the one that he tied the record on. I was playing the Bucks.
Yeah.
And whenever he got like his last rebound, the crowd started going nuts. It was fun. But yeah, we love him because he left and it made sense. The team sucked. Go chase your championships. We're rebuilding.
And he tried to make it
work
a couple times. He got Paul George to come. He got Melo to come. But I mean, he really liked it out there too.
Did he?
Yeah. He's talked about that a lot. I mean, he still does.
Like the culture is good, but OKC is a town.
Well, I mean,
I don't want to visit OKC.
I'm sure he liked how he was treated out there. You know what I'm saying?
He was a god.
Yeah,
everybody
so it's just like
him.
Who doesn't like being the guy? Like I'll be the guy in Arkansas. Shit, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're gonna treat me great. But yeah, he still does things for like the community out there and stuff. But yeah, I'm happy for Russ. Like it was dope. It's dope to see him having.
They're doing good on
having a decent season for Denver because I felt like him being from Los Angeles put way too much pressure on him to be a Laker playing with LeBron and AD and stuff. And then also like their games just didn't fit.
Yeah, I don't think Westbrook and LeBron work too well because
Westbrook
can't shoot threes like that. And LeBron needs people who can shoot threes.
LeBron needs people that can shoot. And it's just like Russ very much is a ball dominant guard or he needs to play in the dunker spot and stuff like that. And that just clogs the lane that Anthony Davis needs.
Right.
And then that LeBron needs. Because like even with like, I hate to say it, like AD being gone has kind of freed up the lane for LeBron to get busy in the paint more. Because like essentially like now that LeBron's older, he's like essentially playing power forward all the time. And so him and AD were like playing the same position. And I think that kind of made the offense stagnate a little bit.
I still can't believe that trade. Like getting rid of AD made sense. Fake. But the Mavericks, what the fuck were they thinking? It's crazy.
I don't know. It's crazy how ego will fuck things up. Because I really think...
They raised their ticket prices too after doing this.
Well, you know they got a new ownership group too.
Yeah. I mean, they own
Cuban
sold.
They own a lot of businesses in Vegas and casinos and stuff. But
hey, we gotta wrap this up. We gotta wrap this up. You got anything plug last second?
Nah, I'm good.
check out 98 Honda, the movie he's
Fuck with me.
got out, and Niles Abston, check him out. Thank you so much for watching, and that's it. Any last word of advice?
If you got some money, give it to me.
Right, yeah, give him some money. That's the podcast. Thank y'all.